Hi and welcome everyone. My name is Dennis and today I'm going to show you my team selection for Gaming 28 of Fantasy Premier League, but now let's just jump straight into it. Okay guys, so as I said before, let's start this video firstly by showing you how my team performed in Gaming 27. Now before starting to talk about my team, please consider leaving a like, hit that subscribe button if you want to support the channel even more. That would mean a lot. But now enough talking about my team, how my Gaming 27 went. As you can see from the screen, 48 points all out, pretty rubbish yet again. At the moment in FPL, I just think that this season is not my season. Finally, again, my target at the moment is going to try to get inside that top 100k. I was 2 game weeks ago. Since then, I've got 2 red arrows down to 144k. So at the moment, it's not the worst position. Obviously, you can be in FPL, but again, for my standards, I just don't think that luck was not really involved part in my season. Now, let's just talk a little bit about how this game week went. Now, if you remember, if you were on my deadline stream, if you watch my content last week, you know my transfers. I sold Raya to buy Kelleher, and also I sold Declan Rice to buy Florian Wirtz, which of course he got injured in training, so he was supposed to start for Liverpool against Nottingham Forest, and he missed completely. Now, again, that just sums up all my luck this season. Now, for what's worth, Raya at least he didn't get a clean sheet. I'm still really happy with going Kelleher over Raya, but yeah, overall, now looking in hindsight, obviously you don't want to sell a player like Declan Rice to buy a player like Florian Wirtz and for him to just not start. After that, I've got obviously Elliot Anderson. In terms of points, it's pretty much the same. Those two free transfer don't mean at all. So Anderson on my bench was amazing. He got 5 points. He came in instead of Florian Wirtz. Again, really happy with him. As you can see, he outscored my entire midfield. So again, I feel a little bit meh talking about Gaming 27. Gabriel again doesn't really matter that much. Arsenal can't keep a clean sheet at the moment. Alderete had a decent fixture. He got just 1 point. Munoz, finally, he rewarded me a little bit. He got actually defensive contributions. Now, I bought Munoz thinking about getting some attacking returns, but he got defensive contributions. He played as a center back in that game in the last part. So, yeah, 9 points. I'm going to take that. He was the best performer for me in Gaming 27. Other than that, again, rubbish all over the pitch. Morgan Rogers, 2 points. Bruno Fernandes, 2 points. Enzo Fernandez, 2 points against Burnley. Doesn't feel great. Thiago Ekitike, 2 points. Yeah, it was a really, really bad gaming for me. So, yeah, fair enough. I deserve red arrow for this gaming. Haaland was my captain. At least he got me something. And at the moment, the points we get from Haaland count a little bit from my point of view. Now, again, to free transfer use, not a lot of things to take into. Again, at the moment, I'm just regretting selling Virgil van Dijk 2 or 3 game weeks ago. I think that was a mistake now looking in hindsight. But again, we have some players to think about. Let's see how my team is looking for Gaming 28. All right, guys, now let's move to the next part. Here I'm going to show you how my team is currently lining up. Now, what you need to consider is that I have 2 free transfers and 0.4 millions in the bank. So probably I'm going to make some transfer this week. So don't worry if you really, really think that my team is horrible. But at the moment, this is currently how I am lining up. And we're going to discuss in the next part about the moves I'm planning to do. But you guessed correctly, there are a lot of interesting midfielders and I need to make a defensive transfer probably. But starting with my team for Gaming 28, Kelleher, Dubravka, that's one reason I bought Kelleher. Raya is going to play against Chelsea, Kelleher is going to play against Burnley. Again, is Brentford guaranteed 100% to get a clean sheet? Probably not, but it's Burnley away, so yeah, I'm really happy to have Kelleher. Hopefully he can outscore or at least match David Raya, considering that he's a little bit more cheap than him. So really happy to play Kelleher. Dubravka is playing against Thiago, so again, in there's no way I'm going to play Dubravka, so we should stop discussing about that right now. Now in defense, I have Gabriel Alderete Munoz. Dorgu is injured. He probably has to go at some point. At the moment, he's not a problem for me because I'm just not playing him. He's just the last player on my bench every game week. But if I'm going to need a defender transfer at the moment, Crystal Palace are still likely to blank in game week 31. So at some point I need to get rid of them. Now, if I need to keep one, Daniel Munoz obviously is going to be the one who I'm going to keep until game week 32. The fixtures are not amazing for Crystal Palace in the next two, Manchester United, Spurs, but then it's Leeds in game week 31, I think. So again, Munoz, at the moment I'm forced to play him. If I had a defender like Virgil van Dijk, probably I would bench Munoz, but again, I have Munoz basically because we know that he's probably the most attacking defender in FPL at the moment, although he didn't get a lot of attacking returns in the recent weeks. Man United away is not an amazing fixture. I expect Crystal Palace to concede in this game, but my alternative is Lacroix, who's also a player from Crystal Palace. Lacroix, we need to see how the injury is, but probably he's going to need to make way for another defender, and that way maybe I'm also going to bench Alderete because Alderete is not a player I'm super happy to play against Bournemouth away. He's pretty bad, but at least, yeah, he can get maybe defensive contributions if I'm forced to play him. Gabriel, again, I sold Raya, but I think that Gabriel, there's no way I'm going to sell him. He's still the best defender in FPL, and I just think that, yeah, he's probably going to stay in my team until the end of the season if he's not going to get injured or something like that. Now, talking about my midfield, Wirtz is the main not problem here, but again, although I was really unlucky that he got injured in the warm-up, I think that Arne Slot was really positive about him, and I just think that the injury is really minor. And again, I'm just going to wait for the pressers to see what Arne Slot is going to say, but I'm expecting Wirtz to be available to play against West Ham at home. So again, if you don't have Florian Wirtz, don't buy him. If you have him, just try to calm a little bit because he had a back injury in the warm up. Probably he's going to be fine. Now, again, I have him in my team, so I'm just going to hope that he's going to be all right. Other than that, Bruno Fernandes, going to keep him until gaming 31 or so. Then we're going to assess. He's a good captaincy option. We're going to discuss maybe a little bit about that. But yeah, he's in my team. Rogers is a really frustrating player at the moment because, yeah, I bought him a long time ago. He got some returns, not going to lie, but his underlying statistics are just not amazing. But there's no way with a blank gaming 31 coming our way, there's no way I'm going to sell a lot of my players who have a fixture because at the moment I have Munoz, Lacroix, Haaland, Gabriel, who are not going to have a fixture, and Dorgu probably is going to be out for that fixture. So that's five players who don't have a fixture. I can't really sell a lot of other players who have fixtures. So I just think that's a really big luxury to sell Rodgers, although the fixture is great this week against Wolves away. So there's no way I'm going to sell him. But I just hope that he's going to get something. The midfield in the last 2-3 game weeks was pretty bad for me. Anderson, talking about him, he was the only one who, I don't know, outscored all my other midfielders in the last two game weeks. If I'm going to sell Enzo Fernandez, which is in my mind, obviously, because as you can see, he's on my bench at the moment, playing against Arsenal away. Anderson probably is going to be on my bench. Although I think that the fixture is okay, if he's going to get 4 points at the minimum. He got defensive contributions in the last, I don't know, 11, 13 games he played. So he's a really good budget player. I think that I'm just going to keep him until gaming 31 at least, and then we're going to reassess. So yeah, in midfield, the only transfer I can see is to sell Enzo Fernandez, and obviously you know that there are a lot of options in midfield. Talking about Harry Wilson, Dango, Shade, Tavernier, even Soboslai, Ryan from Bournemouth. There are a lot of good midfielders at the moment. I just need to see which one I'm going to prefer, and if I want to sell Enzo, because Enzo also has a fixture in Gaming 31, so I can make a case about selling, I don't know, Lacroix and Dorgu, buying two defenders this week, although that's pretty boring. And I really want to have, I don't know, maybe a Brentford midfielder like Dango against Burnley away, but we're going to discuss about that in the next part. My forward line is Thiago, Haaland, Ekitike. Haaland is going to be my captain, probably. At the moment, my captaincy armband is on him, as you can see. Now, leads away. I know really good how Haaland did against Leeds in the first fixture, because I triple captain Haaland at home to Leeds and he blanked. So that's why I know exactly that maybe this is not going to be a great fixture for Haaland, but Leeds at some point they are, I don't know, they are a really unpredictable team to figure it out. At some points they are shipping a lot of goals, but also at home sometimes they are playing amazingly. So this game, yeah, maybe that's a little bit of a cliche, but it could go. I can see this game being 4-0 to Manchester City or being 1-0. Now Haaland, the captaincy options for me are Haaland and Bruno Fernandes. Realistically, the players who I'm actually going to captain. Now, if you want to captain someone like Thiago against Burnley away, if you want to go take a punt different, then I really like that also. But realistically, I'm going to captain Erling Haaland or Bruno Fernandes against Crystal Palace at home. Now, Bruno Fernandes wasn't amazing himself in the last two game weeks. He's on penalties, on some set pieces at home. Crystal Palace are a mess at the moment. They are just a team we can't target, I guess. But I still don't think that the level of fixture is not like Burnley at home or something like that for Manchester United. And although they are getting better, Haaland, Manchester City are also fighting for the title. This is a must-win game. Haaland is on penalties. He, I don't know. I just think that I feel more safe captaining Erling Haaland. Now, again, everybody knows Erling Haaland. We know that he can score 2 or 3 goals in a fixture like this, and I would not be surprised at all if he's going to score a hat trick or something like that. Now, at the moment, I'm captaining Haaland. Maybe I'm going to change to Bruno Fernandes, but at the moment, I'm 70%, 30, something like that to Erling Haaland. Thiago Ekitike, really happy with this forward line. Honestly, Thiago against Burnley, the fixtures are just starting to get better. I kept him for all the bad fixtures. Probably that was a mistake at that time. I wanted to sell him, but now that I have him, the fixtures are just great. No reason to sell him, and I think that he's one of the best players also to buy if you don't have Thiago already. And Ekitike, I know he's really frustrating. I'm a Liverpool fan. He is the player with, I don't know, the most non-performant, let's say, player considering his statistics. He should have scored a lot more goals than he did. Actually, in the last few game weeks, West Ham at home, the fixtures are just great. There's no reason for me to sell Ekitike, and even if I want to sell Ekitike, who am I going to buy? Voldemort, Wisa, João Pedro with those fixtures. Yeah, no way. So yeah, this is my team at the moment. Lacroix and Enzo are on my bench. Dorgu is injured. I have two free transfers, 0.4 millions in the bank. Now, uh, if you look at my team, my straight moves seems like buying Virgil van Dijk. I can sell Lacroix to Virgil van Dijk and sell Enzo Fernandez to a Dango Utara, to a Harry Wilson, to a Ryan, to any other cheap midfielder. So at the moment, these are the things I'm thinking about. And then I'm going to have Dango instead of Anderson, and Virgil van Dijk instead of Alderete. So that way I'm going to have 3 Liverpool players against West Ham at home, 3 Brentford players against Burnley away. This is currently my plan. This was my plan last game week. Now let's move to the next part, and let me just show you these moves. Alright guys, now moving to the last part, let me just show you the moves I'm planning to do. Now at the moment I'm just going to wait to see all the European games be done with today, tomorrow, and then I'm going to decide, wait for the press conferences, because at the moment I just need a little bit more info on Florian Wirtz or on another, or for other players. Now, obviously, as I said before, the easy move for me would be to sell Lacroix to Virgil van Dijk and to sell Enzo Fernandez to, um, let me just put here. Now, Dango, again, I don't have the money. I don't have the money to go for Shade. I think that at the moment I'm more likely to go for Dango anyway. I think that he started the last game week. I think that in the future, both Shade and Dango are going to be starters for Brentford, and Lewis Potter is going to be on the bench. But at the moment, yeah, he's just 1 million cheaper, and yeah, I can't afford Shade, so that's another reason why I'm going to go for Dango. Um, and this is how my team would look like. Now they're recommending me to play Alderete, but I just think that I'm going to go for Munoz just for the attacking threat bonus there. And they're recommending me to play Anderson over Wirtz. Now that's not going to happen if Wirtz is going to be fit. So yeah, this is likely my team for Gaming 28. Now I will be using two of my all my free transfers. So the plan from now on is going to be to roll until gaming 31, because after that my plan, as you may know, is to wildcard and bench boost in gaming 33. Now obviously let's wait and see all the information we're going to get till that, but this is the plan, and the plan would be to try to roll, to try to have some free transfers after I'm going to use the wildcard. Now, talking about, let's just talk a little bit about other midfielders, because Dango is not the only option for me. I have 6.1 millions. Now, let me just see. I'm not even sure if I can go for Harry Wilson. Maybe you're thinking why I don't want to go for him. Uh, Harry Wilson is probably the safest, and I don't know. The thing is, I'm going to tell you, the thing is, why am I leaning toward more and more toward going for Dango than for Harry Wilson, is that he has that Burnley fixture right in front of us. And if I was going to buy Harry Wilson, the fixtures are still good for him, don't get me wrong. Spurs at home, West Ham at home, Nottingham Forest away, Burnley at home. The fixtures are just great for Wilson, probably better than for Dango Utara. But it's just that thing. Dango Utara has the Burnley fixture right now, and you never know what's going to happen in the future. Just take that example. I bought Wirtz last gaming. He got injured in the warm-up, so a lot of things could happen. The fixtures are still good for him after gaming 29. Wolverhampton leads away. Even 32, 33, the fixtures are great for him. But Harry Wilson definitely probably is the, I don't know, my favorite option if we're talking about safe picks. He, again, I don't think he's going to get DEFCON every gaming, but he's a good option. Now, as I said before, there are other options. Tavernier would be my number one. Personally, Tavernier would be my number one. On penalties, on some set pieces, decent for DEFCON. The only problem with Tavernier is that he just came back from an injury, for a hamstring injury, and he played, I don't know, 15 minutes, something like that in the last gaming. He looked good, but I think that there is a little bit of a risk there. We don't know if he's going to start both games, Sunderland, Brentford. So yeah, it is a shame. That's why I'm not going to go for Tavernier probably, but he would be my number one if he was 100% fit. Other than that, as I said before, I can't go for Soboslai. I don't have the money, and I'm not even sure if Soboslai is better than Virgil van Dijk. Dewsbury Hall is an option. Ryan is another one from Bournemouth, but they have a lot of players at the moment coming back. Tavernier, Brooks, Krupi needs to play, Van Ilsen needs to play. Ryan at the moment is looking like he's the best player. He's the most nailed at the moment. That's how it's looking from the exterior. But the truth is that his minutes could be managed now that all these players are coming back. And yeah, there's a little bit of a risk there. 5.6 millions. Sunderland, Brentford, Burnley, Man United in gaming 31. I don't know. It's really close between all these players. Dango, Shade, Harry Wilson, Ryan. All these players are really good, and I think that a lot of people are going to have some headaches picking one, and probably one or two out of these players are going to score more points than the others. That's probably what's going to happen. But if you're talking about honesty here, all of them are really close from my point of view in terms of how good they can be. So yeah, pretty much that's it from the midfielders. Let's just say I'm going to go for Dango, and then now what I can do also is to skip the midfielders and just sell Virgil van Dijk and buy also someone like, I don't know, instead of Dorgu to buy someone like Chow, Anderson. I don't think actually if I have the money to go for Chow, but again, someone like Anderson, someone like Hill, someone like Matty Cash could be an option. But I don't know, making two defensive transfers when we have in front of us a player like Dango playing against Burnley, I don't know, it doesn't feel that with a lot of upside. Let's just say it like that. So that's another thing I can do. Other than that, my moves for this week are, if I'm going to sell Enzo, to who? Lacroix, I think that I'm going to sell him this gaming. I think that's a given, so I'm going to sell Lacroix anyway. It's just that if I'm going to sell Lacroix and Dorgu, or Lacroix and Enzo Fernandez, or I could just keep Enzo Fernandez and play Elliot Anderson. It's not going to be the end of the world, but yeah, I just think that if I was to sell Enzo, to a midfielder, why not just sell him now? Because as I said before, these three midfielders have great fixtures in the future. Now, let's say I'm going to go for Dango and Virgil van Dijk. The plan, as I said before, would be to roll. Now, here I could play Dango instead of Anderson, probably. I could even play Alderete instead of Rogers, but probably I'm not going to do that. And the team would look great here. Hekitike could be a captaincy option, but probably I'm just going to go for Haaland. Gabriel, here I could play Kelleher or Dubravka. Now it's going to be really close. As you can see, they have the same score here. Probably at the moment I would say Dubravka against Everton away, but yeah, this is a headache for next gaming onwards. So I'm going to roll here, have 2 free transfers in game week 30. This is going to be my team. Munoz is going to play against Leeds at home, so that's the plan, to keep him for these fixtures. Here I could play probably Rogers instead of Anderson again. Again, it's just sad that basically every game week, if you give me the chance to play Morgan Rogers or Elliot Anderson, I'm just going to sell Morgan Rogers, although Elliot Anderson is a really consistent player and we know that he's going to get 4 or 5 points every game week. So yeah, but at the moment, this is how I'm playing. This is how I'm playing. Kelleher, Dango, Thiago against Wolverhampton at home. Haaland is going to be my captain, probably against West Ham. So the team look okay. Here I'm going to roll again, and in game week 31 is going to be the blank game week. I'm going to have 3 free transfers here. The plan would be Gabriel, Haaland. Probably I'm going to keep them, and probably I'm going to sell Munoz. Now, if that's going to be for Chow or another defender, we need to see by that time. But let's say Munoz to Chow against Sunderland at home, good fixture. And yeah, Kelleher against Leeds. Uh, this would be my first 11. Now, obviously, if some of these players are going to get injured or have some doubts, then I'm going to make another transfer to sell Dorgu or any other player. But if not, I could play these players, and the plan would be to go wildcarding in gaming 32, and also I'm going to have 2 free transfers in case some things happen when I'm planning to use my bench boost in gaming 33. But again, here, if I don't want to play, let's say, Alderete against Newcastle away, although I think that if I'm going to have 11 playing players, I'm just going to play them and save the transfer, because I think that the transfer is going to be really helpful in the future. I could just sell here Dorgu for a 5 million defender, let's say, probably to Anderson, right, who's going to play against Burnley, and I could even play obviously Anderson against Burnley at home. So that's a possibility. That way I'm just going to have 1 free transfer after I'm going to use my wildcard. So yeah, let's see. But at the moment, these are my plans. Please let me know in the comments down below which midfielder are you buying this week. Harry Wilson, Ryan, Dango, Shade, or even if you're buying a midfielder, I guess. So yeah, please let me know what would you do in my place. What do you think about my team? And yeah, just hit me in the comments with some questions. Thanks a lot for watching this long, really appreciate it. As always, if you enjoyed it, please consider leaving a like, hit that subscribe button if you're new around here, consider the memberships also if you want to support the channel even more. And I'm going to see you on stream. The stream is on Friday, so don't forget that. I'm going to see you there. Bye.
Bag gura lor, când mă întreabă oamenii de unde sunt le zic de va. Apoi îmi bag gura lor.